Can we please welcome Alan Bell?
Alan Bell, AB Property Solutions, Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. Okay, this is going to be fucking interesting. If someone had said to me 12 months ago, if someone had said to me 12 weeks ago, and if someone had said to me 12 days ago that I'd be up on this stage giving a presentation, my answer would have been, you are something joking. Sorry about that. On that note. Okay. This presentation, this is going to overrun, isn't it? This presentation has been given the following certificate. Scenes we all contain, bad language, loads of passion, and naked people. A bit of advice I was given was, if I'm nervous on stage, okay, was to imagine everyone in the audience naked. And that's kind of working. Just don't imagine each other naked. No, I said don't imagine each other naked. Okay. A bit about me and why I joined the Mastermind. Okay, yeah, so I'm from the Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. Fantastic if you like sheep, wild animals, tractors, and trees. I suppose it's a nice place to holiday on if you like that kind of thing. But in all honesty, great place to grow up. But in all honesty, I always had a bit of a thing with the Forest of Dean, if you like. I kind of blamed it a little bit, you know. See, when I was at school, okay. Yeah, I didn't exactly excel at school then, you know. I didn't really want to excel. I wanted to play football, do you know what I mean? What would I want to do my GCSEs and things like that, like, you know? And so I basically left school like with next to no qualifications. Well, I did leave school with some qualifications. I left school with E for excellent, and that was X for excellent, even though I could spell. Tell your parents, like, you know, A is for absent. You know, you don't want A's, mum, you know? And U for unbelievable. Here we go, that was a ban from the Forest of Dean as well, hey? Okay, so, yeah, so anyway, I had this kind of, you know, it was very much, you know, I had something inside of me, like, you know, I wanted to succeed, you know, I wanted to do things, I wanted to get on well, right? But kind of like, because of like what I left school with, I kind of like just fell into a labouring job on the building site. And so this labouring job was absolutely fine. You know, it was, I was earning good money, and I had no problem with it. I was playing football. It was giving me money to go to the pub with. And it was giving me money to go to the pub with. And yeah, it wasn't, I didn't mind it, you know. But kind of the thing that got me was was kind of like the impression that everyone else was having on me because of it, you know. I was happy doing what I was doing, you know. Why not? Why? But, you know, it's kind of like society, and I think, like, and they know what that's called, of course, but it's called, you are being conditioned by society, you know? You are led to believe what everyone else around you is thinking, you know? It's not your beliefs, okay? Yeah, it's not your own beliefs. So you're very, at that age as well, like, you know, you're very much influenced by other people. Okay, so I was labouring. I thought I'd better do something, better fall in line, I suppose. And I trained as a carpenter and got a carpentry qualification. But still, even then, like, you know, because other people had advanced further than me at that time, because I'd been labouring for a while, it was still very much a push. It was still very much a push of society against me, sort of thing. Like, you know, it's very difficult to kind of break through that. And so anyway, what I thought I'd do, I thought, well, I will go do something a little bit different to everybody else and prove to myself and to a few other people around me that I can actually do these. I can learn. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. So anyway, I went out and I purchased a computer programming course randomly, and you know what? I studied and picked up 2 diplomas with distinctions, And I started doing a degree in programming. And I was thinking, okay, I'm not living at home now, like, yeah, and living either at my house or my partner's house, whichever suited at the time. But like, you know what, 24, 25, I'm studying for a degree, and it's kind of like, well, what the hell? Where I could never see past that. I could never see where the future led with it. It was just like, yeah, I was studying, I was going to get a degree, but that was kind of it. So, okay, from there, I just realised that, you know what, I have to do something, like, you know. And I was on an in-centre day one day, having some training, and one of the lecturer there, whiz at Pascal programming, kind of said to me, he's 20 years old, by the way, and he kind of said to me, he said, why are you doing? He said, why are you doing programming? He said, you're a carpenter. He said, you should be doing building. He said, you should be doing property development. And do you know what? The penny, at that moment in time, it dropped. Yeah, absolutely, that was a changing point for me. And so from there, bearing in mind I was getting pressure, like I'm living at home and et cetera, what do I need to live somewhere other than home. I went out and bought this. This is off my own back. So I went out and bought, I seen this property on the, this property here. And like, whilst everyone else around me was kind of seeing the property on the left, I was already seeing the property on the right. This kind of brings me back to sort of like the influence of people around you. And you know what, I ploughed on with it in any way. And you know, again, I had my own belief system then, yeah. I wasn't going to be influenced by other people. Because you know, at this time, okay, so I'm buying this property, okay, I'm having to find £17,000 somewhere to put down as a deposit with no money, okay. I'm having to get a mortgage, and everyone else around me is kind of like, well, what the hell are you doing now? You know, why are you're going into property? What, you're just doing programming about 2 months ago. So, like, it was very much, I was very much sort of like surrounded by negative thoughts, if you like, and it was difficult enough to renovate that property in any way, let alone have all the other sort of like people surrounding you, giving you bad vibes, sort of thing, like, you know, giving pressure and everything else. So anyway, yeah. So again, everyone else was seeing the kitchen on the left, so I was seeing the kitchen on the right. That was the moment I bought it. I kind of it was the future, like, you know. Right. So after I decided now I'm a property developer, and I've now got my confidence up, and I'm a property investor as well. To continue my desire, if you like, in the property world. I went out and put, okay, so, I remortgaged that previous property with Northern Rock, got 125% mortgage against it, and I had about, so this brings me to why you should start, if you're doing property, why you should start on a mastermind program, okay? Because I didn't have the support around me, you know, okay? I didn't have the things, I didn't have the support and the knowledge to share of what I should be doing next. You know, I had £90,000 sat in the bank account. It was burning a hole in my pocket. It was like, I need to do something. So I went out, feeling like I was procrastinating, and yeah, in inverted commas, and bought this place in Bulgaria, handsome chap there, this place in Drybrook, Forest of Dean. That's a 3-bed, semi-detached. And then I went out and bought, at the same period of time, I bought a plot of land in northern Cyprus, okay? Yeah? And I bought this place in Worcester Walk, right? Now, there's a reason why I bought that place in Worcester Walk, right? You can see that place in northern Cyprus, can't you, right? Well, that's as much as I've seen as that place in northern Cyprus. Right, and this is another reason why you should join on the mastermind, right? This is going to run over. There was a reason why I bought that bungalow, right? Now, I knew that I lost £35,000 in northern Cyprus, right? It was mortgaged against my house. Now, I had no one to share that with, okay? It's all right having a nice house to live in and everything seems hunky-dory, but if I told my partner, Anne, I've just lost £35,000 in northern Cyprus left. You know, I couldn't talk to my parents. Anyone else around me that would have been looking at me, it would have been, I told you so. And you know what? I don't need that kind of, I don't need that vibe around me. Do you know what I mean? this is hard enough as it is. You know, I want this to work. I don't want negativity. So I went and bought this bungalow in. My concept of this bungalow was, do you know what? I'm going to buy this bungalow, and I am going to. Okay, this is where I stumbled across below market value. It was on the market for £160,000, and I'd done a deal on it. And I bought it for £105,000. Okay, I refinanced it 6 months later. And I got my £35,000 back out that I lost in northern Cyprus, okay? So, but try and tell somebody that if you're not in a property world, try and explain that to your friend down the pub, or your friends you play football with, or your environment that you're in, you know. Try and explain to them that, look, listen, I'm going to remortgage my mum and dad's house to buy this bungalow to pay back the plot of land that I lost in Northern Cyprus. It worked. I knew it was going to work, but I had no one to share it with, like, do you know what I mean? I didn't have the support of anyone, like, I didn't have the right people around me to do it. It would have been a lot easier. In actual fact, if I had the right support around me, I wouldn't have bought any of the previous 3 properties. The Drybrook one, by the way, had everything bar gold taps. I didn't know whether I was renting the property out or whether I was developing the property at the time. But, okay, where am I going now? Okay, so what have I achieved in the last 12 months? More than I have done in the last previous 8 years. I've raised £250,000 from private investors to purchase property. I've secured property of £765,000. I have got refurbishment costs I've got refurbishment to do, and yeah, I've got £169,000 for refurbishment to carry out. That'll take my total spend to £956,000. The end value with the discounts and the uplift in the refurbishment is 1.45 million. And the income I'm not quite there yet, I've got to be honest with you. I still have work to do on this. I'm not singing from the rooftops at all about it, but it's a bloody good start. So at 6% borrowing, that will give me a passive income of £51,000. God, I got a dry mouth. And straight to the bar after. Okay, this is the property I've got to speed this up. Okay, this is the property I purchased, okay? I purchased, and by the way, my strategy is rent into housing, or LHA, okay? Now, I've fallen lucky because I found a housing association that will actually give me a guaranteed rental for my property, okay? And they will actually give me a guaranteed rental on a HMO property. Not all of them, but the right ones in the right areas, they will. Okay, so I purchased 1 4-bedroom, I suppose you can read it, can't you? And I can skip on a little bit, but okay, so yeah, I'm getting rental of the top one there, which I'll go into a little bit in a bit more detail in a minute. I'm getting £1,238 from the housing association. Mortgage is £300 on that. Okay, the second 2 down is the block of is 2 buildings, it's 2 semi-detached properties next door to each other, of course. They're going to give me £1,500 each property. I'm going to be all in on those property after refurbishment for £230,000. So that's £115,000 per property after refurbishment, okay? Which is quite a small amount, really, to be receiving a £1,500 rent against. Okay, 3/4-bedroom masonette flat. Again, I'm doing 2 by 1 in that. Okay, 2-bedroom masonette flat and shop, okay? Now that's £55,000. I'm going to do a little, yeah, okay. So that's £55,000, okay. I've done it on a delayed completion. I put £5,500 down on it. It's going to give me a year to complete, and I'm actually doing the refurbishment as it is at this moment. Now, the end valuation of that is going to be £150,000. But you know what? For the sake of spending £40,000 on it now, okay, it doesn't really stack up for me. I'm investing for cash flow. It doesn't really stack up rental-wise, but there is the thing that I know the guy, there's a chap in there, I'm familiar with the town, if you like, and I know he owns the row of houses, bar this one smack in the middle of it. So I think there might be a good chance of getting a good flip on it and making about £50,000 on it. Okay, oh crikey, okay. A 6-bed, 2 reception, grade 2 listed in the centre of Bridgewater. £100,000. I'll go to that one in a minute. 2-bedroom mid-terrace, 80,000. That was valued at 120,000 on purchase. And a 2-bedroom apartment in Portugal. I never said I would invest overseas again, did I? But yeah, that is a package deal. Now, I'll probably be able to talk to you about that another time, maybe. Okay. Right. Okay. 17 Railway Road. Okay. This is the one that's already bought let. £1,238 a month. Purchase price. What I've got to mention about this property is when you're doing property is make sure you revisit your leads. Okay. Make sure you revisit your deals. I had a view on this property, and it was on the market 299,000. She dropped and dropped and dropped 230,000. I got in contact with her. She said, you can have it for 185,000. I'm thinking, yeah, it's not going to cash flow me at 185,000. So 2 months later, I revisited it, and I said, how are you getting on with your property? She said, I've sold it to a company. I was like, what have you done sold it to a company for? Okay. She said, oh, what have you sold it for? She said, 130,000. I said, well, if I give you 137,500, would you come back? Would you come to me? She said, yes. So happy days, 33%. Rick's valuation on the purchase was 210,000 on that. I've refurbed it, and I'm not too certain exactly what it's worth now, probably about 230, 240 maybe. This has been my bugbear all year, this has. Am I emotionally attached to these properties, or I could have given up on them if I wanted to, but for £115,000 each after refurbishment, it was worth holding on to. I still haven't done the refurb on that, it's a bit of work to go in that, but again, LHA, I'm going to get a guaranteed rental of £1,500 each property. One interesting thing about this one, I've got to mention it because it's about being creative in property and how you do your property, how you do your deals, and how you finance them, I suppose. Now, I went down so many different routes of trying to finance this property. It's a 3-story, it needs work, needs refurbishment, it's got damp. Gone are the days when you could get a normal standard buy-to-let mortgage and buy that, okay? So I'm looking at bridging finance, okay? Now, bridging finance, I would have had to put down potentially £30,000 on each property to start with, and I would have also had to find £25,000 at least to refurbish. So that's a lot of money being tied up then, okay? So I went to a local businessman, who's got some property in the area, and I said, would you lend me £180,000, or do you know somebody who might be interested in a 1.5% return a month? And again, that's the kind of thing that you're going to learn on the mastermind, is how to structure, how to find, how to be creative about deals. So yeah, that's that one. Okay, there's Bridgewater, grade 2 listed. Maybe some people wouldn't touch it. I'm not going to have my work cut out with it, but different sets of planning. I've got different sets of plans in for it. I've got 2 2-beds and 2 1-beds options, or 6 studio apartments, whichever the listed building officer will let me do. Bless her. She's not. You would not believe, honestly. Okay. What tips can I pass on? Okay. Have big reasons why you're doing property. Okay, so that's my son. Yeah, a bit emotional there. No, I'm right. Okay. So anyway, he's 3 years old. Then yeah. So I want him to go to school where they're going to encourage him to do the thing and identify the things that he's going to be good at. Identify identify things he's good at, and encourage him for those things as opposed to disencourage him. Then let's say, okay, don't let the society generals influence you or give you unsolicited advice. I would say that's massively important. People around you are going to have an influence and an opinion on what you do and what you say. Okay, be persistent, take massive action at the right things consistently. Andy Gwynn kind of drummed that into me, left, right, and centre. I was trying to work out for the last 8 years, of course, what the right things was to do, really. But okay, right, that's me done, thank goodness. Okay, a big thank you, in no particular order, to Simon Z and team. All MXers, I think that's been now robbed. It's all MM10ers. Susan Alexander, Mark Deering, Andy Gwynn and Mary Collin, and of course, my solicitor, Rich Spence. I think that's me about done, and I am going for a pint right now. Well done, mate. Well done. Well done.